How to deal with toxic parents. Dealing with parents can be a challenging part of teenage life, but how do you know when the line is crossed from normal family disagreements to something more toxic? This guide aims to shed light on what it means to have toxic parents and how to deal with them effectively. Toxic parents are those who prioritize their own needs over those of their children. They tend to be more self-centered and may exhibit behaviors that harm their child's mental and emotional well-being. Here are some traits to look out for if you suspect you have toxic parents. Emotional abuse. This includes behaviors like giving you the silent treatment for extended periods when you've done something wrong. Blaming the child. Toxic parents may unfairly place blame on the child, especially for issues beyond their control, such as marital problems. Manipulation. While all parents guilt trip occasionally, toxic parents take it to an extreme level, ensuring they always get what they want. Physical abuse. This extends beyond reasonable disciplinary actions and involves unwarranted physical aggression. Prioritizing their needs. Toxic parents often put their desires first, neglecting their children's needs. Excessive control. They may interfere excessively in their child's life, limiting their freedom and independence, especially for issues beyond their control, such as marital problems. Manipulation. While all parents guilt trip occasionally, toxic parents take it to an extreme level, ensuring they always get what they want. Physical abuse. This extends beyond reasonable disciplinary actions and involves unwarranted physical aggression. Prioritizing their needs. Toxic parents often put their desires first, neglecting their children's needs. Excessive control. They may interfere excessively in their child's life, limiting their freedom and independence. Expecting complete obedience. Toxic parents demand unquestioning obedience, often reacting aggressively when challenged. Harsh punishments. They resort to severe and dangerous punishments, going beyond what's reasonable for discipline. Need for admiration. Toxic parents crave excessive admiration from their children and may react negatively if they don't receive it. Jealousy of other relationships. They can be jealous of close relationships you have with others, perceiving them as threats. Unsupportive. Toxic parents often disapprove of their children's choices, interests, and achievements. Easily offended. They may take differences in opinion as personal attacks, discouraging healthy discussions. Overly critical. Toxic parents may criticize their child's thoughts, emotions, or actions excessively, fostering feelings of shame. Blaming others. They avoid taking responsibility for their actions by blaming external factors. Purposeful embarrassment. They may intentionally embarrass their children to assert control and power. Manipulation. Toxic parents engage in emotional coercion and flattery to persuade their children into compliance. Unpredictable outbursts. Emotional outbursts can occur suddenly, causing fear and confusion in their children. Effects of being raised by toxic parents. Growing up with toxic parents can have long-lasting effects on a child's mental and emotional well-being. These effects may include mental health disorders like depression, anxiety, and PTSD, continued emotional struggles well into adulthood, substance abuse as a coping mechanism. How to heal from the effects of toxic parenting. As I mentioned earlier, the power to say no to others hinges upon learning to say yes to yourself first. Notice how each of the 5 steps involves addressing the areas where saying yes to yourself matters the most. Number 1. Finding your voice. If your upbringing didn't encourage you to express your thoughts and emotions healthily, you may have struggled to assert your opinions. Rebuilding your voice begins with embracing simple expressions of differentiation. Here's how to start. Share your thoughts with a trusted friend, counselor, or family member to practice voicing your opinions. Begin asserting your preferences in minor ways, like suggesting meeting places or movie choices. Insert more of your perspective into conversations, even while listening to others. Enroll in a class that encourages self-expression, like acting, writing, or dance. Join a local support group such as Celebrate Recovery or Alcoholics Anonymous to practice rebuilding your voice in a judgment-free space. By expressing your voice in small ways, you'll become better at advocating for yourself in larger matters, fostering tolerance for discomfort when asserting your needs. Number 2. Treat yourself to special outings regularly, countering self-criticism with self-care, replacing self-criticism with self-encouragement and acceptance from both God and others. Number 3. Embracing your individuality. Toxic parents may have led you to believe that your interests and preferences lack value. Reclaiming your autonomy starts with exploring your own identity. Reflect on your music, food, relaxation preferences, and more. Consider what energizes you and makes you feel alive. Acknowledge your unique preferences as a reflection of how God created you. Saying yes to your preferences empowers you to assert your individuality and say no to the influence of others. Number 4. Establishing stability. Growing up without consistency may have left you feeling internal chaos. Learning consistency and safety can begin with simple daily routines. Commit to a daily ritual, like waking up and sleeping at the same times. Journal and engage in physical activity for 20 minutes each day. Receiving support. Healing from toxic parenting requires support from compassionate individuals. Seek guidance from counselors, mentors, or trusted advisors, or reach out to friends and neighbors. Learning to receive care from others is an essential part of healing from past family wounds.